Happy New Year, and welcome to our first dev update for 2025. 2025 is a special year for Valorant. It's Val's 5-year anniversary, and it's also our first official season, V25. If you haven't seen Anna's video about Valorant's next chapter, check it out in the description below. In 2025, our focus is all about investing into Valorant. We want the game to be in the best shape it's ever been in, and to solidify our foundation to keep growing and evolving for years to come. This includes a ton of things, like quality of life improvements across the board, launching some great new features for the game, leveling up our dev tools so we can keep doing our best work for you, and of course, gameplay updates and new content you'll love, alongside epic moments throughout the year, like Masters and Champions. We're so excited for V25, and I'm gonna hand it over to the dev team to preview just some of the things coming up for you in the first half of the season.
Were you first?
Yeah, I was first. Yeah, okay. 3, 2. Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm one of the agent designers, worked on Tejo.
Hey everyone, I'm Goscicki, the agents lead for Valorant, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Tejo, our newest upcoming initiator. Tejo is our newest Colombian man of action. He is our take on a more strategic, top-down focused initiator, here to apply a ton of pressure to different locations on the map. We really want you to move or die.
With Tejo's kit, we still want to make sure that gunplay is front and center. So I think what we want to do instead is provide Tejo tools to create the disruption, create that play pattern where it's not actually the utility that's getting the kills, but instead the gun when they flush out. So the cool thing about the ultimate is you're able to have it map targeted the same way you have the rockets. In comparison to Breach ult, which comes from you going forward, you're able to choose the direction. So if you wanted to clear the team towards you or away from you, you have that choice. So it's about like choosing like how do you want to play this round? How do you think they will move out of the way? And like what checkmates can you create by having them come either to you or away from you in that way?
The journey to settling on who Tejo is, his archetype, who he is as a person, really spawned from the kit. This idea that like your knowledge and experience round over round benefits you if you play off of it. And we're like, oh, that's kind of like this older, grizzled, battle combat experienced person. We have Brim. We don't need another Brim, so like, what's another take on this? And we thought about the well-dressed man of action, the like really, really experienced combat veteran that we've all seen in the action movies, running away from explosions. That's who we were making with Tejo.
Tejo?
Yeah?
I think he's going to be spicy for sure.
Yeah, just a little spice.
I think we've shown that we've kind of pulled back on a lot of like abilities doing damage. What players will slowly realize is it's a lot more about the tactic. It's a lot more about those moments that you can create with the damage instead of it actually being the damage.
Tejo was our first agent of the year, kicking the year off in a fun, explosive way. We currently have 2 more agents planned for the rest of the year. We think there's some heavy hitters that you're gonna have fun with. You know, as always, agents need to provide colorful new ways for you to play the game, new and exciting play styles that we can shine a light on. But we're not quite ready to reveal any more information about them other than you're gonna get a couple more. So you'll have to wait and see what we're cooking up for you. Bye. Later.
My name's Hardison. I'm the live design balance lead on Valorant.
Hi, I'm Tiffy. I'm the product manager, and I get to work with Dan on Live Balance. Today, we're going to talk to you a little bit about what you can expect in 2025. 10.00 is out and released now, and that means Tejo is live. You'll notice that most of our larger balance patches were done earlier already in patch 908, 910, and some in 911. But we hope to continue that momentum throughout the year whenever it's appropriate.
For the first half of 2025 around agents, we have some duelists we're going to be working on. We're going to be following up on ISO, doing like some kind of power budget redistribution around the kit, and also doing some changes to Neon if we need to after the 911 balance changes. We're also going to be adjusting Deadlock. We're going to be trying to make her sound sensors have a little bit more value and also just try to give her a little bit more aggressive potential.
Oh, Dan, we should actually talk about Harbor. I don't think you've mentioned that yet.
We do need to talk about Harbor. For Harbor, we're really trying to make him more satisfying to play in particular, just trying to make him more enjoyable, more fun, more commonly picked in your average rank game, because right now he's just not picked very much.
So 2025, we're going to look at our map pool rotation strategy once again. We've heard the feedback largely around variety, and that's what we're going to be focused on. So if you haven't heard, we are going to be rotating every act this year. For patch 10.00, 2 maps came in, 2 maps are leaving, and the number might change across the year.
So the main priorities for the balance team in 2025, we're really trying to focus in on our tactical roots here and make sure that gameplay clarity and audio in particular are very easy to understand so that you can react to whatever is going on your screen and kind of make the right tactical decisions, as well as making sure that the skill cap in the game remains high, that all the time you're putting into Valorant is rewarded, both on a strategic and kind of a mechanical level.
For the portions of Mastery that Dan has mentioned, you're gonna notice some of those changes have already rolled out and will be coming across the year in 2025. One example was the accuracy changes that we shipped with gunplay and movement in general. That should be increasing kind of the skill cap you see in Valorant. Separately, there's the maintaining our competitive foundations, which is a lot of bug fixing and just addressing visual and audio clarity in the game.
Valorant's always in kind of an evolving game. Everyone is just continuously getting better. They're improving. We're releasing new content. I think the 5-year point is a good point for us to kind of examine everything we have in the game. So we're trying to take a pass at as many things as we can and try to rein in the game to make sure it's feeling tactical, make sure you can respond to pieces of utility appropriately, making sure that gunplay still matters. All those kinds of things are really high priority for us right now.
And in this moment of reflection, it's really exciting to see just all the metas come through in Valorant. We started with double dive, we had double initiator, we had a good amount of time on chamber, which was great too, and a double controller meta. I'm really excited to see what else comes next in the future.
All right, see ya gamers, excited to keep working in 2025.
Hi, I'm Preeti. I'm product manager on the premium content team.
Hi, I'm Sean Marino. I'm the art director on the premium content team.
And we're here today to talk to you about skins and other cosmetics.
We have something really exciting to talk about. We have a new content type coming to Valorant. It's called Flex. Flex is a really interesting content type that we're really excited to bring to you. We've been thinking about this since probably 2019, 2020. We always knew that there was going to be more opportunities to express yourself with things like gun buddies, sprays, or player cards. And so with Flex, think of it as just a new equipable, something that you can hold in your hand in any moment in game. And it's something that should feel as expressive as something like a melee weapon. You just don't have to worry about the gameplay constraints. You're not going to be killing people with this. You're not going to be running around or trying to jump peek with it. It's really just a new expression piece of content.
We've got a whole bunch of ideas for different types of Flex, so stay tuned. There'll be more to come throughout this year. We're super excited to add a bunch of new guns to some niche skin lines. Skins that maybe don't have a ton of fans, but the fans they have are incredibly passionate. I'm talking, please stop messaging me asking for a 2-0 kind of passionate.
So more Wasteland.
No.
What about Minimum?
Maybe.
But I already promised them the Smite Outlaw.
Nobody is talking about the Smite Outlaw except for you. Look, we know there are some skins that deserve more love and more guns, and we got you. We always like to kick off the year with a brand new skin line that we hope that you all really, really love. And in this case, it's a brand new sci-fi skin, EXO.
With EXO, the goal was to make you feel like a cyber ninja. And what better to do that than having you run around with a digital katana?
I definitely want to feel like a cyber ninja. And there's so many other things to love about the skin line, all the way from the really satisfying audio, brand new animations on the katana, and a really, really cool cyber finisher. This is Valorant's 5th year, so we'll have some fun plans to celebrate and commemorate the anniversary through cosmetics. Whether you're a new player, an OG beta player, or have known us since our Project 8 days, we'll have something for you. No spoilers yet, just know it's a party and you're all invited.
Thanks everybody for joining us. We're excited to bring you into 2025.
Hey, I'm Steven from the competitive team. And I want to talk to you today about V25 season changes. For V25 season start, we've got some new stuff that we're excited to talk about. Last year, we talked about opportunities for upside while you're on your competitive journey, and we have something to share. We're going to be adding in rank armor, which is going to give you an additional buffer of games before you fall between those major ranks. So that's from gold 1 to silver 3. For more specific details, look to the patch notes. Ranks will be resetting at the beginning of the season and again at an upcoming mid-season moment. We still see a lot of value in resetting ranks, especially as we have more players joining the ecosystem, especially now with as many players coming back to play as well. The reality is gameplay has evolved a lot since the game launched, and rank names have stayed the same, but players have gotten better. Gold today is not what gold was previously, and so we need these resets to help make sure that we keep everything calibrated across the entire player ecosystem. And we also have RR rollbacks coming. So we talked about this before. When a player gets banned for cheating, we're now going to go back for a period of time and restore losses to your RR from the matches that that player was in. And for details on that one, that's going to come later during Act 1. We think this is a really great way to kick off the year, and we've been listening to feedback, and we really want 2025 to bring our competitive experience up to speed with where the current community is at. So we're going to keep listening, look for continued updates and comms throughout the year in this space. We've learned a lot through the manual processes that we stood up last year. We sent out warning notices to over 500,000 players that were all repeat disruptors in our game. And any players who continue to be disruptive, they received harsher penalties than typical. And two things here. The bans and warnings were really effective at reducing repeat disruption. The warnings alone dropped our expected repeat disruption rate by 25%. Second, we still have more to do. We're continuing to learn, we'll iterate on this manual approach. You may see another one soon. And really because of the efficacy of these warnings, we want to look into more ways to improve feedback and visibility around behavior comprehensively in the game, and there's more to come there. Last time we chatted, we talked about voice evaluation going global, and we've launched our services across the globe. We only have Korea left. There's a few steps to this process though. Step 1 is about standing up the technology. Step 2, which is where we're at now, that's about evaluating global English to see what performance looks like. And then step 3 is going to be adding additional language support. We've got Spanish currently furthest along and more in development. We've got one more thing. We're making some changes to remakes. A remake vote is now going to automatically start when a player has abandoned the match in the first round. Additionally, you're only going to need 3 players to successfully vote to remake. So when Reina says that their friend is totally going to be right back, just go next. That's all I have for today for the competitive area. Really excited for season 2025, and we'll be continuing to communicate throughout the year, so look for more updates.
Hey everyone, it's been a minute since we shared an update on replays. I wanted to stop by to talk about one of the interesting challenges that we're currently working through, lag compensation. This is a pretty nerdy topic, so let me start with some netcode basics. In Valorant, the game server is authoritative. This means that the game server receives inputs from connected player clients, updates its record of the game, then sends the resulting game state back to players. And it does this on every tick of the server, so 128 times per second. But it takes a small amount of time to send this information over the internet between the game clients and the server. This delay means that the view you have as a player is ever so slightly in the past relative to the game server. So for shooting to feel crisp and responsive, the game server has to both track and compensate for the time it takes to communicate over the internet. When the server receives your shot, it rewinds time to match your client's view so that it can check if you hit. Without this lag compensation, you'd have to lead your shots to hit enemies and the game would feel awful. Okay, so why does this matter for replays? To capture a replay, we have the game server continuously record its view of the game. This avoids any reduction in client performance and also gives us the most accurate representation of what happened. But lag compensation can make the server's view look a little different from what you saw during play, meaning a replay could potentially show inaccuracies during playback. For example, here's a shot with a ping of 15 milliseconds. And here's that same shot in a replay. They're basically the same. The strafebot's position is 15 milliseconds further into its movement, but it's barely noticeable. But it becomes much more apparent if we crank up player pings. In this clip, my ping is 120 milliseconds. I still hit the shot, but you'll notice the hit confirm sparks are delayed and the bot moves further before its body falls. If we look at the same 120 millisecond shot in the replay, it looks like I'm aiming behind the bot and that I actually missed. The replay is accurately showing where I was aiming when I fired on my client, as well as where the bot was in the game server at the time my shot was processed. But the time from my click to the shot being processed was long enough that when combined, it looks like I missed. Here's what it looks like with some video editing magic to put the client view on top of the replay view. And also, let's slow it down a bit more. The ghost represents what I saw on my client when taking the shot, while the solid version is what the server and the replay saw. Clearly, I hit my shot on the client. The replay shows a miss. We're actively discussing how we want replays to visualize shots like this in matches where pings are high. It's a tricky problem. All solutions have downsides, and there's not an obviously correct choice. We're still evaluating what's best to show. That's all from me for today. I hope you find these behind-the-scenes details interesting, and expect another update on replays from me later this year.
Hey everyone, Leo here on behalf of the VCT team. 2025 will be our best season yet. We're expanding each international league to 12 teams, with 5 new teams joining through Ascension. A big welcome to 2Game Esports, XLG Esports, Apex, Simpresa Gaming, and Boom Esports. We're also visiting 3 different regions and 3 brand new cities with our global events. Masters Bangkok will take us to Southeast Asia for the very first time. Masters Toronto will be our first event in the Americas since Champions 2023 and will also be the stage for the 5th anniversary of VALORANT. And finally, we're very happy to come to Paris for the first time to host the biggest event of the season. From my time watching Worlds and Friends, it's easy to see that the fans in that city are some of the most diehard ever, and I cannot wait to see their energy at Champions. We're very excited about esports digital goods this year. Our goal here are twofold: to give players a chance to rep their favorite teams in game, as well as support them financially. Last year, you showed up big time and exceeded all of our expectations. On top of the team capsules and the Champions Collection, both returning this year, we're introducing a brand new season capsule with a new melee, kind of like what we did with Lock-In in 2023. We're going with the Classic for team capsules again in 2025, and we're very comfortable with that choice. The Classic is present in every single round. They get more time in the spotlight and have led to some pretty fun interactions. We think of the Classic like a team jersey, where you want to cop the latest one with the start of a new season. We're making some important changes to international leagues in 2025. For Stage 1, teams will be divided into 2 groups of 6, competing in a round-robin format, with the top 4 teams from each group advancing to playoffs. A bigger playoffs with 8 teams will keep more teams in the hunt for a longer period of time and give them more chances to qualify for global events. On Stage 2, you have a fresh new chance to clinch Champions qualification. With a longer break after Masters Toronto, we hope to give teams space to try new things and make changes ahead of the final stage of the season. We're also changing how teams qualify to Champions. One of the pieces of feedback we got in 2024 was that teams weren't rewarded enough for doing well in Masters. So we reworked championship points, which will now have a deeper point distribution, not only to the winner. Like last year, each IL will qualify 4 teams to Champions, but in 2025, 2 teams will qualify through championship points, and 2 teams will qualify from Stage 2 playoffs. That way, we'll keep the stakes high throughout the entire season, giving teams new chances to qualify and come back at every point, while also rewarding teams for a strong season-long performance and all the work they put in earlier in the year. So that's it. Lots to look forward to in 2025.
Okay, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for being here, and keep sharing all your thoughts about Val. We'll be back with more updates as the season progresses. Honestly, it's just crazy to think that we're 5 years in, so thank you all for the folks that have been with us for the entire 5 years, and welcome to all the people who are just starting today as well. We hope you can tell how much we love this game and that we love it just as much as you do, and that we're here working hard for you. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.